Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are the West.
He's no longer the fourth outfielder. He's in the lineup every day, and he's making the most of it. David Murphy and your Texas Rangers meet the Seattle Mariners next. Welcome to the opening week of baseball, presented by Burger King. 4-1 Rangers, one time through the starting rotation, have seen quality start after quality start. Last night at his first major league start, a 7-inning 4-hit shutout turned in by Neftali Feliz. And as the Rangers prepare to meet the Mariners tonight, Jim Knox has more on tonight's starting pitcher.
All right, Dave, thanks. Kobe Lewis putting in a final few pitches before taking the mound tonight, looking for his second win of the season. We'll see what happens. Rangers and Mariners, first pitch coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest.
Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Ford dealer and drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By Burger King, proud sponsor of opening week baseball. And by the Progressive Insurance Group for money-saving car insurance quote. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. We welcome you to the ballpark. Dave Barnett along with Tom Grieve. Game 3 of this 4-game series with the Mariners. In the first 2 games, the Rangers have proven they can put 11 runs on the board and win with only 1 run. But the common denominator remains David Murphy.
David Murphy's off to a great start, Dave. And you look at the last 4 years, this time of year, David's the 4th outfielder, and we're speculating how will David get his at-bats. He's had over 400 at-bats every year. This year, though, he's starting out in the starting lineup and definitely getting off to a good start and taking advantage of it. He's had big hits, extra base hits. Last night he had 3. In the 1-0 game, he drove in the only run.
And for more, let's welcome a poorly dressed Emily Jones.
That's right, guys. I will explain this later. There is a good explanation. I will provide it later, but right now let's talk about something important, and that is David Murphy. You mentioned his hot start. It's not something he is known for over the course of his career, but he is definitely keeping this .533 average through 5 games in perspective.
I came into spring training wanting to prepare the right way and take it into the season. So far, so good, but you know, it's 5 games. I've played well over 5 games before. It looks good right now because it's the first 5 of the season. And, you know, I want to be a better player. I want to continue to get better, and I want to show that I can do this over a course of 162 games.
David Murphy with tonight's Geico quote of the game. And, Tom, I'm sure you can identify when you're in the lineup every day, you know where you're going to be and you know what you're going to be doing. You have a tendency to be able to pick things up a little quicker, and I think we're seeing that with David Murphy here in the early goings.
So Colby Lewis is set for the second time this year. After a strong opening day start, victory over the Chicago White Sox. And here is the Mariners lineup. For Eric Wedge, he again has Sean Figgins leading off and playing left field. Dustin Ackley is the second baseman. Ichiro this year batting third, still in right field. Justin Smoke cleanup hitting first baseman ahead of Kyle Seager at third. Jesus Montero behind the plate. Michael Saunders in center, Brendan Ryan back in the lineup at short, and the first appearance of the year. First as a Mariner for the DH, John Jaso. Colby on Friday afternoon, 6 innings against the White Sox. He allowed 7 hits. And, of course, the 9 strikeouts, tying the most in Rangers franchise history for an opening day outing. He walked 2. Shutting out the White Sox into the 6th inning. And that is Kerwin Danley, who's behind the plate tonight with Doug Eddings at first, Paul Nauert at second, crew chief Dana DeMuth at third. Apparently they're trying to decide which clock to go by. Well, it is 7:07. And Figgins is ready to step in and get us underway. Sean last night 0 for 3. He led the game with a walk. Neftali Feliz walking 2 of the first 3 before getting a double play ball. Lewis's first delivery in there. '81-degree evening at the ballpark, and it's 0-2.
9 strikeouts in 6 innings in Colby's first start. That was against the White Sox. Against Seattle in his career, he's been very successful. 6-4, 3.70 ERA. 6 or more innings pitched in 19 of his last 40 games. 24 games started. Colby was terrific against the White Sox. He was spotting his fastball, and he had an unusually effective assortment of off-speed pitches that they really never figured out for 6 innings.
Bounder out to shortstop, and Elvis Andrus across to Moreland for the out. He said 81 degrees, humid, and a breeze tonight at 15 out of the southeast. Slight chance of showers, just a few clouds floating overhead at the moment. As Lewis will now face the second baseman Dustin Ackley, who has gone 0 for 4 each of the first 2 games of this series. And against Colby Lewis, lifetime just a 1 for 6. Second round pick in the draft in 2009. As a North Carolina Tar Heel, and a good looping curve drops in for a strike.
And that's what makes Colby so tough. He's got an assortment of breaking balls. That's a big breaking curve ball.
Wrapped hard past Moreland and into the corner it goes, and Dustin Ackley's first hit of the series is a double.
A number of young hitters in the Mariners lineup, and most young hitters are fastball hitters. And Ackley saw a couple of curveballs, but then he was ready for the fastball up and in and drilled it to right field. As the game goes on, I'm sure they'll see more and more of Kobe's assortment of breaking balls. In addition to the slower curveball that breaks a lot, he'll throw a harder slider, he'll throw a cutter, also throws a changeup. So you really can't look for any particular type of breaking ball because he makes it break in a lot of different ways.
So here is Ichiro with an RBI opportunity. Monday night, 3 for 5, including a double. 0 for 3 last night. Josh Hamilton has him played perfectly. There's out number 2. Rest of the Ranger defense. Murphy in left. Cruz in right. In the infield, Beltre, Andrus, Young, Moreland, with your Torrealba doing the catching. Ranger defense has been spotless so far. Old Paul has made only 2 errors. They were both Saturday. So Torrealba settling in against Justin Smoke, who has 3 hits in his first 8 trips in the series. After a solid Cactus League season, hitting .378 out in Arizona.
Smoke yesterday against Felice had 2 hard hit balls to right center field, 2 line drives, both on fastballs. Didn't really come close to hitting the off speed pitches, but he was ready for a fastball. And again, a young hitter, dead fastball hitter.
He has handled Lewis well, as you saw, but down here, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, instead of a fastball, he sees a breaking ball and then a really good changeup that looked to him just like a fastball, but he was way out in front of it.
So the crowd behind Colby with the 0-2 pitch. Another breaking ball. This one fouled off. Justin Smoke, former Ranger first-round pick, to Seattle with Blake Bevan, 2 others in the Cliff Lee deal 2 years ago. First full major league season last year, Smoke at .234 with 15 home runs. Switch hitter waits for the 0-2 pitch. Boy, the White Sox swung at that all afternoon long Friday. Smoke lays off.
He laid off at that time, but he'll get a chance to hit it again sooner or later. See if he can lay off it again. That's a really good pitch, 0-2. The borderline strike. And it takes discipline not to swing at it. And he swung at it that time.
And Lewis with his first strikeout. No runs on the Ackley double in the Seattle first. The Rangers coming to bat. Starters in their half of the first, and the Rangers now with the lineup hitting with the newly signed, officially in the fold, An option for the 2018 season. Ian Kinsler, he's DHing tonight. Elvis is in short. Hamilton in center. Beltre cleanup. And at third, Michael Young gets the start at second. Nelson Cruz in right. David Murphy playing left, batting seventh. Torrey Alba catching. Moreland batting ninth. And playing first against the former Ranger #1 starter, Kevin Millwood.
Well, we know Kevin very well. He was here for 5 years. Pitched his heart out for the Rangers. 16th major league season. 163 game winner. Among active pitchers, he's 5th in a lot of major pitching categories. 48 and 46 in his 4 seasons with Texas. ERA was 4.5.
Kinsler sends that one out to center field, and an easy play for Michael Saunders for the out. The Mariner defense again tonight is brought to you by the Three Stooges, the movie with Big and Saunders and Ichiro in the outfield, Seager, Wright, Ackley, and Smokey infield. And Jesus Montero came over in the offseason from the Yankees. Michael Pineda, along with the Monday night starter here, Hector Noesi.
I think Kevin's goal before every game he pitches, he likes to establish his fastball, and he'll throw a lot of fastballs until the hitters show him that they're onto it, and then he'll go to his other pitches. But early in the game especially, he likes to feature his fastball.
Kevin now 37, 6'4", 230. Out of North Carolina, born in Gastonia. 16th major league season. Gets the top of the strike zone there to Elvis. And Elvis off to the worst start of his career. 2 for 20 after hitting 400 out in Arizona. So looking for a breakthrough game maybe tonight. And 2 balls and a strike. He is 2 for 2 against Millwood lifetime. And chops that one to the third baseman, Seager, who spins and throws him out. So Millwood gets the first 2, and now we'll try to take care of Josh Hamilton. Fellow North Carolinian who has hit in all 5 games to the tune of 450.
It'll be interesting to see if Kevin throws Josh a first pitch fastball for a strike. Josh loves to swing at the first pitch, and generally if he gets a good one to hit, he does a pretty good job with it. So let's see what the first pitch is. He threw it for a strike, but a quality strike by the pitcher, down and away.
Millwood, who started last year in the minor league system of the Yankees and moved on to the Red Sox system. And that one driven to shallow left, and it gets past Figgins. That allows Hamilton to reach second base. With a season opening 6-game hitting streak.
Well, Figgins obviously thought he could catch that ball. Came fairly close to it. They have a choice to make as an outfielder. Play it safe with 2 outs and keep the man on first base, or to take a couple of hits probably to drive him in, or go for it and risk missing it and have it trickle by you for a double, and now a man in scoring position can score on 1 single. Didn't quite get his glove to it.
So Josh Hamilton safe at second. Safe and secure New York life. And here's Adrian Beltre, whose bat has been smoking after going 0 for 7 the first 2 games. Last 3 all multi-hit affairs for Adrian. 6 for 13, including a double, and his first homer of the year.
Millwood and Montero wanting to get on the same page. Now with a man on second, the signs change.
Mariners seem to be very happy so far with Montero's catching. First time to start a major league season. On the opening day roster, he has been the DH a number of games, but Miguel Olivo off tonight, and it is Montero catching the 37-year-old veteran Millwood. First pitch to Beltre, misses low and in. Beltre has faced Millwood more than he has faced any other pitcher in baseball. 77th plate appearance. He's at 257 with 3 homers. And 2-0.
Kevin went to spring training as a non-roster invitee and had a really good spring. He struck out 20 in 14 innings and won a spot in the rotation. But he had to go. He didn't have the luxury of going to spring training with a spot already gained. He had to go there and win it.
Wood drops in for a strike.
Yeah, a good pitch. 2-0. Not a fastball. Threw him a slider.
Millwood's spring ERA 2.57. Pitched well after the Rockies picked him up last August. After what could not have been an easy experience. Trying to get Trenton, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, and Pawtucket, the Yankee Red Sox systems, before working his way back to the majors. And he went 4-3 with an ERA of just under 4 for Colorado in 9 starts. Led the Rockies in wins, innings, strikeouts, and the ERA among their rotation members. Now with his 7th different major league club. And he loses Beltre. So 2 on with 2 outs, and Michael Young will be the batter.
Only Adrian Beltre does that little toe tap at the plate when he takes a pitch. Doesn't do it every time. Does it frequently, though.
So here is Michael with 2 RBIs on the year. And against Millwood, 3 for 9 lifetime with a homer. Hamilton at second with his 2-out double. Beltre walks. He's at first, and Young fouls the first pitch back. Michael has worn out the Mariners throughout his career. 17 homers, a 3.01 average. How's this for consistency? Overall, 3.01 against this team. Last year hit 3.03. His overall career average is 3.04. Fastball misses outside, and the count even up. If Michael can reach, Nelson Cruz would be next. Millwood slowing things down with runners on. His 1-1 pitch. Just outside again. 2 balls and a strike. Away and away.
You see Kerwin Danley got them all right, too. They're all right near the plate. A little high.
And one more of those. We'll have walked the bases loaded for Cruz. Rangers last night with runners in scoring position went just 1 for 10. 0 for 5 from the 6th inning on. Chance for an early lead here. And Michael Young delivers out to center field. Here comes Hamilton. The throw is late and up the line. 1-0 Texas.
A nice little 2-out rally for the Rangers. Double, walk, and Michael Young doing what he does best. 2-out hitting with men in scoring position. Driving in another run. Kevin was pitching Michael away, but that one came back. The movement on that ball brought it back toward the center of the plate, and when it did, Michael jumped on it.
Saunders coming up firing. No chance to get Hamilton. And Eric Wedge sees his team fall behind here in the bottom of the first, and still Nelson Cruz to deal with now. And Millwood starts him away. Nelly on Monday night at his first homer of the year drove in all 4 RBIs he has coming into tonight. Last night 0 for 4, struck out twice. And this is popped up down the right field line. Can anybody get there? No. Into the seats. Ichiro, Ackley, and Smoke all following that one. Kevin Millwood needed only 6 pitches to get the first 2 men, Kinsler and Andrews. He is about to throw his 15th pitch since then. The consistency of Cruz. Challenged in there. 1-2. His 3-run homer Monday against one of the new members of the Seattle rotation, Hector DeWacy. Now against another new member, and works the count even at 2-2. For Millwood, just his 4th start against the Rangers. He's 0-2. The ERA of just under 5. It's his first since August 10th of the 2010 season when he was with the Orioles. And another foul pop out of play. It is his first start on this mound against the Rangers in quite some time, since June of 2002, when he was still with his original team, the Atlanta Braves. But overall, he has had excellent success here. 61 starts at Rangers ballpark. Millwood 28-17. '24th pitch of the inning, and that one foul back. Hamilton doubled on the 2nd pitch, but since then Beltre Young and now Cruz really making Kevin labor. 13 strikes against 11 balls. And he will have to come up with at least one more. Eighth pitch of this at bat is coming. And Cruz barely fighting that one off.
Yeah, that was a tough pitch. That was good velocity at 91 miles an hour and good movement. That ball really came in on Nelly. But he fought it off. He's trying to throw it away, actually. Comes up and in, kind of in an effective location, but not exactly where Kevin was trying to throw that ball.
Still see a lot of Atlanta Brave philosophy in him, working so consistently away from the right-hand hitters. Millwood's best years early on with the Braves. Won 17 once and 18 twice. An all-star with them in 1999 when he went 18-7 with an ERA of 2.68. And a full count. The block by Montero. Beltre at second. After a walk, Young at first after the RBI single. And the 10th pitch of the at-bat misses outside. The bases are loaded for David Murphy.
Good job of laying off that 3-2 slider. Going to get a visit from Carl Willis. Carl Willis, along with Eric Wedge, were the pitching coach and the manager back with Cleveland when Kevin pitched for Cleveland. In fact, he won the Cy Young Award that year. I'm sure that had a little bit of something to do with Kevin joining the Mariners this year in spring training, trying to make the ball club.
Kevin Millwood, former #1 starter for the Rangers. He gave this team some solid work. Wasn't that long ago, Tom, but you consider the rotations that he headed up and the rotation.
So Kevin Millwood stays on top here. It is 7-5 Rangers.
Ambrose, what a transformation. Pitching depth has happened since Millwood departed here. First pitch misses to Murphy.
And we talked about it in the pregame show. When you look at the two left-handers, Harrison and Holland, both 25 or 26 years old. Yu Darvish is 25 and Neffy's only 23 or 24. There's 4 power pitchers with immense talent under the age of 26. Rangers have Darvish locked up for 5 or 6 years. Holland's locked up for 5 or 6 years. And I think the Rangers' goal is to lock up their core players, and kind of one by one, methodically, they're getting the job done, with Ian the most recent.
3-0 with the bases loaded. Millwood now 16 balls against 15 strikes against the American League leader in doubles. And extra base hits with 5, including a homer. Taking all the way at 3-0.
It's obvious that Kevin on the first 3 pitches is trying to keep the ball away from David. He knows David is really swinging a hot bat right now. Doesn't want to get one into his power zone. But 3-0, he had to come back and throw a strike, but all the first 3 were off the plate. That one might have been a little bit high and outside. Borderline pitch. David's seen all his all fastballs. Had a swing at one of them. Not sure if Kevin would throw something other than a fastball right here, but if you're a hitter, you have to look for a fastball. Good news is, as well, the Rangers on the bases will be running right here. So base hit definitely scores 2.
They are off, and the pitch fouled off.
Well, you're right, Dave. Where the first 2 batters were out in 5 or 6 pitches. But that last out, taking him about 30 pitches, and he hasn't gotten it yet.
He was dangerously close to a Darvish first inning pitch count at this point. A couple innings worth already spent. But if he can limit the damage to this 1 run, that will be an escape job well done. 4 straight Rangers reaching after the 2 quick outs. Murphy hoping to be the 5th. The 3-2 pitch got him swinging. So Millwood limits the damage to 1 run on 2 hits, couple of walks. Rangers leave him loaded. It took him 35 pitches. Inning and time for Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Ranger fans enjoying the game tonight. Also enjoying Dollar Dog Night. Yeah, hold them up proudly right there. Community Corner this evening. We're talking about Ranger fans. Listen up. You can own a piece of history. Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation. They're selling raffle tickets for your chance to win a Texas Rangers American League Championship ring, just like the Rangers picked up a couple nights ago. For more information, log on to TexasRangers.com/foundation. You can also purchase tickets here at the ballpark or online. Dave?
All right, Oxy, here in the second, it's Seager, Montero, and Saunders. Colby Lewis sat for quite a while as the Rangers managed to get him a lead in the bottom of the first. Colby in the first allowed a double to Dustin Ackling, but left him at second. And the big looping curve for strike one to Seager.
I got a feeling these young hitters are going to see a lot of breaking balls. Smoke, after hitting again a couple fastballs last night, saw all breaking balls in his first at bat. There's 2 curve balls for strikes. Colby can throw that curve ball for a strike, boy. Early in the count, it's like a get me over pitch. Counts on the hitter just not looking for a curve ball, not going to be ready to swing at a curve ball, and bang, he drops one in for a strike. And then when he gets ahead of you, he throws a little bit out of the strike zone and tries to get you to swing at it. That's what Smoke did for the last out of the first inning.
It seems like some of Colby's best outings are the ones in which he features the first pitch curve. It works well when he sets things up off that particular strategy. Inside with 87-mile-an-hour fastball. Opening day touched 90-91. 2-2 pitch here, right at Moreland.
Well, most hitters will look for a fastball. Well, they look for fastball most of the time anyway, but definitely on the first pitch. And so a lot of times if you try to get ahead of a young hitter with a fastball, he's going to jump on it. Maybe he hits it, maybe he doesn't, but he's going to offer at it. Not many guys will go up there and swing at the first pitch if it's a good curveball. So if you can throw it for a strike, it's just a great way to get ahead in the count.
One of the best at pitching backwards. First pitch in there at the knees to Jesus Montero. Montero, who missed first game of the series with stomach problems on Monday, did not go. He was the DH last night, went 2 for 3. Trade with the Yankees. Came over with Hector Noesi from Michael Pineda. Brilliant, hard-throwing young right-hander in Jose Campos. And another liner. This will make its way out to Murphy at left. And Seattle has its second base hit. So Montero aboard for Saunders, looking for his first hit in this series. He's 0 for 6. Also looking for his first hit against Lewis, against whom he's 0 for 7 with 4 strikeouts. Saunders, the center fielder, as Franklin Gutierrez heals a torn pectoral muscle. Injured on a throw. Out optimistically, they say, until at least early next month. Yet to make his mark in this series.
Oh, where was that ball?
Former 11th round pick.
Let's see.
That was a strike. That's where that
Sure,
was.
it looked like a strike.
There's the curve.
Took a little off the curve ball. 72 miles an hour. You feel like you're going to hit it until you swing at it and you realize it's slower than you thought it was going to be, and it's breaking more than you thought it was going to break.
Sees it again and bounces it toward the Ranger dugout. The opponent batting average in the first 5 games against the Ranger staff just .204. Hits have been few and far between. Is there room for this foul pop? Beltre over for a look, not quite. But a chance to break bread with his former teammate over there.
Adrian played there for 5 years. He knows those guys pretty well. Ichiro almost took that right off the head. Watch Ichiro. Had no idea where that ball is.
That close. It's a bit startling. And in the dirt, 2-2.
That would have been a blooper for the ages if that ball bounced about 20 feet in the air right off of his head.
Jose Canseco would have some company.
Been right up there with Canseco's.
A little different, I guess, a foul ball as opposed to a home run.
I saw Deion Sanders take one off the head out in left field one day.
Another near miss and a full count. First 3-ball count for Lewis. Saunders part of this international flavor in the Mariners roster, native of Victoria, British Columbia. And drives that one just foul. He's still 3-2. Saunders growing up. 1999 played in the Little League World Series. 2008 in the Olympics for Team Canada. Drafted out of Tallahassee Community College in the 11th round of 2004. Joined the club as a draft and follow the following year. And he pops this one up near the mound, and taking charge is the first baseman Moreland for the second out. Again, Beltre chases down everything. Last time we saw him make a catch, foul on the first base line.
That was almost the same play. That one was a little bit more up the line, a little closer to Mitch. Beltre's yelling for it. He must sense right now that Mitch is not getting out of the way, though. And fortunately, there was no collision there. Mitch is saying, hey, I know you're a Gold Glover, but that's closer to me, big guy. And Adrian's saying, you weigh about 250 pounds. I'm not about to run into you. But Adrian, you could definitely see with our replay that Adrian was yelling for the ball.
And then they compared notes thereafter.
And you're saying, did you hear me? Mitch is saying, hey, that's on my side of the field.
0-2 to Brendan Ryan.
Good fastball.
Ryan didn't play last night. Monday night 0 for 3, struck out twice. And Lewis just misses, striking him out looking. Ryan over from the Cardinals, December 2010. For a minor league pitcher. Terrific range at shortstop. Not much of a bat so far. Last year 248, although that was well above the team average for Seattle his first year there. And reaches out, loops that one. Andrews reaches up and makes the catch with his back to home plate. A little defensive wizardry to end the top half of the second. fantastic savings for most April and May Rangers home games. Upper level tickets for only $10 or Lexus Club Terrace tickets for $15. Bring any Dr. Pepper can to Rangers Ballpark or enter Dr. Pepper as the coupon code on TexasRangers.com. So the bottom of the second will begin with Jorvi Torrealba, then Moreland, and it'll be the top of the order. Kinsler batting for the second time against Kevin Millwood. Somehow allowed only one run in a 35-pitch first inning that featured a lot of action after 2 quick outs. 2 hits, 2 walks, but a bases loaded strikeout of Murphy. Jorvi looking for his first hit of the year. Showed the Mariners a little power last year. And Millwood, this is with his first 3, and now evenly split 19 balls and 19 strikes.
Kevin got behind David Murphy 3-0 with the bases loaded. Came back to strike him out.
4-pitch leadoff walk. And Millwood, who walked only 8 batters in 9 starts with the Rockies last year, has walked 3 of the last 5 Rangers he's faced. So here's Mitch Moreland. Mitch 2 for 12. Both his hits on Monday, including the 2-run homer that gave Darvish the win, breaking the 5-5 tie in the 4th inning. And there's a strike away. A home run ending a 27-game homer drought going back in the regular season to last August 19th. That was the last time Mitch had gone deep. And then he had the wrist problem, causing off-season surgery. Rangers hope to dominate this series again as they did last year when they won 15 of 19 meetings. They had never dominated a single team in a single season the way they did the 2011 Seattle edition. And against the division, Rangers have won their last 8, 15 of their last 18. Moreland down on strikes, second strikeout. First out of the inning. And back up to the top of the order in Ian Kinsler. The announcement official this afternoon that Ian is officially signed to his contract extension through 2017 with an option for the 2018 season.
I'm glad that worked out. The Rangers wanted very badly to sign Ian, and he wanted very badly to stay here. Worked out, and both sides are happy with the contract. That's good too.
First inning, he flied to center on the Millwood second pitch. A number of Rangers had their best home run totals of any opponent against Seattle last year. Ian in that number. This year, he's one of only 2 in the league who already have single, double, tripled, and homer. The other, Austin Jackson of Denton Ryan and the Tigers. Torrealba at first after the 4-pitch leadoff walk. Tom Millwood still really searching for the fastball command.
Yeah, he really is. He's throwing a lot of fastballs. I mentioned earlier, he loves to establish his fastball early in the game, and he's trying to. He's just not spotting it where he wants to. He's missing with it. Doesn't want to throw it right down the middle of the plate. I mean, Kevin's game is location and hitting the corners, but he's just not quite doing it today. A lot of balls up. And he's kind of laboring out there. Very unusual for him to have thrown 46 pitches this early in the game, number 1, and then to have 23 of them be strikes and 23 of them be balls is really unusual for him.
So here's the 3-1 pitch. Barely got the top of the zone to run the count full.
Yep, right at the top of the strike zone. Don't always see that pitch called. I like it when it's called, though. Just gives a pitcher a little bit better chance in today's game.
There goes Torrealba, swing and a miss, and the throw by Montero not in time, and there is the first stolen base of the year for the Rangers. From, of all people, the catcher Torrealba.
That's just who I would have picked to get it. Well, you know, it's a 3-2 pitch, and Ron Washington is saying, I'm going to start the runner to stay out of a double play. I've got a hitter at the plate who makes good contact. He'll probably put the ball in play. Millwood made a great pitch. Threw a good sinker to Ian, who missed the pitch, which doesn't happen often. But the throw was on the shortstop side of the bag, and Jorvik was able to steal the bag.
Gets himself into scoring position for Elvis Andrus, who grounded to third his first trip. And he takes high. Rangers started tonight one of 4 teams in the league yet to steal a base. The only other Ranger who had tried was Ian Kinsler. He was 0 for 2. On the ground, right to Ackley. It's routine as they come. And Millwood works around the leadoff walk to Torrealba. Through 2, 1-0 Texas. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Geico Insurance. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. And by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. Third inning, 1-0 Rangers. Bottom of the order, John Jaso. And then Sean Figgins and Dustin Ackley. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve with a special guest we will introduce to you after Lewis's first pitch to Jaso. Dribbled out to Moreland, and Colby covers for a quick out. And we welcome Marcus Ambrose. You
G'day,
are
guys.
here to drive at Texas Motor Speedway Saturday night on Fox.
Yeah, we are. We're here in town. Came early. We actually, on behalf of Stanley, built a home today, framed a house, Habitat for Humanity. And really excited to be here in Texas, one of my favorite racetracks that we can come to. It's always a great race, a beautiful facility, and a good time of the year to be out here.
What do you like about driving that track?
Well, it's fast, and there's always a great crowd. But really, it's a racer's track. The surface has got some tricks to it, and the groove really widens up throughout the night, and the rubber picks up. And, you know, a good handling car and aggressive driving can really pay dividends.
Marcus, most baseball players will tell you when they were 5 years old, they wanted to be a baseball player. How about racing? When did you know that that's what you wanted to do?
Well, I like baseball, and this is actually my first live Major League game, so I'm thrilled to be here.
Great, great.
But I got to tell you, my passion is racing. I live for it. I love it. And NASCAR for me is, you know, is my sport of choice, and it's just a great thing to be part of. I'm an Australian, and I've come a long way to be part of NASCAR, and just thrilled to be, you know, driving for Richard Petty, driving the 9 car for him, and really thrilled to be out there and mixing it up.
And when you told your family that's what you wanted to do when you were a little boy, what was their reaction?
I never really told anyone. I just went out there and
did it.
Yeah, you know.
Better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
There you go. My wife was pregnant, and I said to her, you know, hey, how about going to America and trying NASCAR for a change? And she was kind enough to jump on the plane with me, and here we are.
And how many years have you been here?
6 seasons in NASCAR, going to my 7th. So, you know, and I started in the truck series and worked my way through, and it's been a journey, no doubt. And the racing here in NASCAR is the toughest I've ever been a part of. I've raced all around the world. And definitely NASCAR has got my measure. It's a really tough sport, but it's very satisfying when you get it right.
Wow, that's great.
A single by Sean Figgins. And the Mariners have 1 hit per inning so far. Dustin Ackley got there first. It was a 1-out double. And again, Lewis featuring the curve for the first pitch strike. How would you handicap this race coming up here on Saturday night? Who do you think are the guys to beat?
Well, I'd leave Jimmy Johnson in the pits for sure, and Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch and all those guys. But, you know, it's just a great race. It starts at 6 o'clock Central Time. You've got to tune in if you're a casual fan and check it out, because it'll be our first scheduled night race of the year, and just pumped up. You know, anyone can win it. We've got 43 cars out there on the track, and the field's tight, and the drivers are all good. You just got to have a bit of luck on your side and keep working.
What are your thoughts about night racing opposed to day racing? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, I love night racing. You know, the sparks really show up, you know, when you start hitting each other and hitting the asphalt. And the track gets faster too. You know, as the track cools down, the speeds pick up. And we're going to be doing well over 200 mile an hour on Saturday night.
Whoa.
And, you know, when it gets cool, the speeds pick up. And that's when you know you're living right there, when you're on the edge.
I had a chance to go to the race out there a couple of years ago. It's the first time I'd ever been to a race, and I got to go down in the pits. And the noise and the excitement was just mind-boggling to me, how exciting that was to be close to it.
And it's noisy in the cars too. We work really hard at keeping those noises out of our ears, because we had to communicate with our team, you know, during caution flags and getting ready for pit stops and stuff like that. But the cars are really hot, they're really heavy, and they're very hard to drive. So we've got our work cut out for us.
How much weight do you sweat off during the course of one of these 3-4 hour races?
Yeah, I carry 5 or 6 pounds of water in the car, and I drink that throughout the race. But, you know, we're averaging in the temperatures inside the car about 130 to 150 degrees. And you've got to manage. Yeah, no, you've got to manage, obviously, you know, your sweat loss. You've got to manage, you know, how hard you push yourself early in the race, make sure you've got some left in the tank.
So you drink while you're racing?
Oh, yeah, I've got an automatic system that I just press a button and it just goes straight in my throat.
Wow.
Yeah, don't do it around the corners.
I didn't think I ever see you driving one-handed with a water bottle in your
Just don't
hand.
try that around the corners. It's hard to keep it down.
This is Ichiro, of course, the ball and a strike with 2 outs. Figgins at first. Marcus Ambrose with us in the booth. He will race Saturday from Texas Motor Speedways. He said 6 p.m. Central on Fox.
I'll guarantee you one thing, Marcus. I'm going to watch that race, and I'm going to be rooting for you.
Well, thank you. The number 9, sponsored by Stanley this week. We're really excited for it, but there's still tickets available too. So if you're in town and you want to check it out, come out and see us. We're racing 870 horsepower, pedals to the floor on Saturday night. It's going to be a wild race.
You got me sold. I'm going to be there.
Marcus, great to meet you. Thanks for spending time up here with us.
And thank you for not asking me a baseball question.
Ambrose. We don't have a rooting interest in that race on Saturday.
What a personable guy, and what a great ambassador for his sport. They had me psyched up just listening to him talk.
Time for the Ranger third. Josh Hamilton scored the run. He doubled with 2 outs in the first. Beltre then walked, and Young singled Josh home. Cruz then walked to load the bases, but Millwood able to strike out David Murphy in the 35-pitch first inning. In the second, started with a 4-pitch leadoff walk to Torrealba, who then stole second base, but he struck out Moreland, and Kinsler got Andrews to ground out. Two and one to Josh, who is now 3 for 5 lifetime against Millwood, a homer and now a double. The American League hit leader. Also co-leader with 3 multi-hit games. The theme continues, Tom, for Kevin Millwood, unable to bring that fastball down into the strike zone.
Yeah, for all the balls he's thrown, 27 balls, 27 strikes, he's hanging in there because he's made pitches when he's had to.
Might have been out of the zone there. Josh thought he could reach it, and the count now 3-2.
That's the pitch you got David Murphy with, 3-1 and 3-2. Borderline pitches, probably too close to take when it's 3-2, but tough to hit, tailing away, up and away.
Down the line, slicing into the seats. Tom, we were talking about this the other night. If you apportion the wins, last year out of 96, the Rangers got 15 against the Seattle team, almost as many against the A's. Total domination of the American League West. They were 36-9 from May 15th on last year within the division.
Well, you figure you're going to play Seattle and Oakland somewhere around 22-23% of your games, and you really have to take advantage of that right now anyway. While both teams are down a little bit, that's not always the case, but the cycle right now will show that Seattle and Oakland are down a little bit, and when you play those teams that much, you really have to capitalize on it if you're one of the better teams.
Hugging the line, and foul as Seager chased it right to the tarp.
You know, between the A's and the Mariners last year, the Rangers are whatever 16 or 17 games over 500 right there with those two teams.
So you just break even against everybody else, and you're at the very least in contention.
Yeah.
Would have been enough to win the division last year.
But the other side of it is Seattle has good pitching, as we saw last night. So you still have to be at the top of your game if you want to capitalize on it.
Oh, Hamilton looks at a high called strike 3. Emily Jones now to explain her wardrobe.
Yes, well, you remember that magical run last summer when the Dallas Mavericks defeated the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. Mike Knapp and I made a friendly little wager. Because the Mavericks won, I got to pick up his walk-up songs for a game. Well, he wanted revenge when the regular season tipped off between the Mavericks and the Heat. This season, he threw it out there on Twitter. I, of course, could not back down. I took the Mavs, and they were humbled, as you might say, on opening night. So that is why I am now wearing a Dwayne Wade Miami Heat jersey. I've been wearing it since 3:30 this afternoon when the clubhouse is opened, and I will be wearing it until the clubhouse closes tonight after the game, and it cannot get here quick enough. But I will say this. Last year, remember, Knapp went on a total tear after those walk-up songs played. I'm hoping the same thing happens this season because he has been struggling a bit at the plate to start things off, guys.
Emily, are your betting days over?
I doubt that. I doubt that very seriously. Anyone who knows me knows I have an affinity for wagers of all kinds, so I'm sure this won't be the end of it. But we'll try and have a little fun. You guys know it can be a long season. We like to mix things up a bit.
Beltre going after all these high fastballs, bounces back to Millwood out number 2.
While we got a second, Dave, I want to thank Abby Baseda, for the kolache she sent to us today. She's 6 years. Matter of fact, she has a birthday today. Abby is 6 years old today. And she sent us a great batch of kolaches from West Texas, known for the kolaches in that city. So thank you, Abby, and happy birthday. And we also got a nice culinary treat from Elizabeth Johnson. I would have called them cream puffs, but her daughter Catherine is taking a class at the Culinary School of Fort Worth. She made them, and she would call them profiteroles. And Dave, I saw you try a couple, and you gave a thumbs up. So Elizabeth and Catherine, thank you very much for those.
I second that. And Kevin Millwood has his first 1-2-3 inning. He has settled down and retired 6 straight. Tenth 1-0 game in the history of this ballpark. That's our score into the fourth. 3-hitter for Lewis. Michael Young drove in the run. Hamilton after a 2-out double in the first. And in the Mariner fourth, middle of the order, Smoke, Seager, and Montero. Dustin Smoke struck out to end the first with Dustin Ackley at second after a double. And that is a first pitch strike now to the 12th out of 13 Seattle hitters. It's not hard to look up what a team's batting average is, what the average major leaguer's batting average is when he starts down 0-1 in the count. Checks his swing on the curve.
That looked like a strike anyway.
It did. David Demuth said he didn't go. Kerwin Danley said it was low. 2-1.
And it could have been a strike.
Belted into the right field corner for Justin Smoke and off the wall. He cruises into second with a leadoff double. First double of the year for Justin Smoke.
It's right in his wheelhouse right there. Had a good swing at it.
Justin now against Colby Lewis, 4 for 6, 2 doubles and a homer. Second Mariner to reach second base tonight. And here is Kyle Seager, who smashed a liner right to Moreland, leading off the second. Fouls that one off the fist. Sean Figgins started at third opening day in Tokyo. Ever since then, it's been Seager at third. They hope a big part of their nucleus for years to come. Third round pick out of North Carolina in 2009. 2 rounds after his teammate there and here, Dustin Ackley. Throw behind the runner, getting through, but Hamilton close enough. Back it up and keep Smoke from advancing. Torrealba thought he was catching Smoke drifting. Seager last year moved from AA Jackson to AAA to Tacoma and up to Seattle. 2 stints, most of the final 3 months of the season with the Mariners. He had 258. Really moved quickly through their system. 2 years ago, a Class A high desert, he was the California League batting champ at 345. Led all minor leaguers with 192 hits that year. Curve is fouled off. And in 2010, he had a 32-game hitting streak. Lasted 5 weeks, June and July. Not big for a third baseman. 5'10", 175.
He's hitting 5th right now. Chances are over the next couple of years, if they develop or sign some more offensive players, that he might not be a 5th place hitter, but you could see him batting maybe in the 2nd spot in the lineup. Looks like a good solid hitter. Should hit for some contact. Line drive hitter.
Pops this one right back onto our roof. Closest we've been so far to a souvenir.
We haven't had one up here in a couple years that I remember anyway. The seats in front of us get peppered with balls every game. We're a little bit far back to get them on a regular basis.
Just does fight off the curve for a foul tip to stay alive. Tremendous depth on the curveball tonight for Colby Lewis. Last year, 14-10. Opening day starter. He is now pitched in all 5 slots in the Ranger rotations over his years with the franchise here. This ballpark, 2-0 against Seattle. Both wins. He allowed just 1 run on 7 innings. Tonight, the Mariners out hitting the Rangers 4-2. Hits have been scattered 1 per inning.
Unfortunately, the Rangers bunched their hits together around a walk to get their run in the first inning.
So here's the 9th pitch of the at-bat. And the count is full.
And Kobe's just missing with his fastball. When he's tried to get the ball in on the hitters, he's missed off the plate, which is where you want to miss. It's only a ball there. You miss in the middle of the plate, then you could get hurt a little bit. But tough at bat right here. Seager's battling, fouling off his off-speed pitches. Again, just barely getting a piece of those curveballs.
Off his shin that time. Look back at Smoke, and another 3-2 pitch. Popped up and playable. Beltre this time doesn't have to travel very far, and he gives way to Ambrose as that one drifts almost on top of the mound. To celebrate 40 years of baseball here in the Metroplex, Metro PCS and Southwest Airlines are offering a chance to win a trip for 4 to watch the Rangers play in Los Angeles. Register to win
at metropcsflyaway.com. And speaking of Los Angeles, Angels are now trailing in the bottom of the fourth at Minnesota 3-1. After tomorrow afternoon's 1:05 start, Rangers will fly to Minneapolis for a weekend series against the Twins. Strike one to Montero. He singled in the second.
They're spotting the fastball on the outside corner, right where he was aiming.
Jesus Montero from Venezuela, where his mother was the catcher for the Venezuelan national softball team.
Good try. 0-2 pitch, trying to get it in on his fist. Just missed with it. See Torrealba moves inside, has to move his glove in a little bit. Definitely a ball. And then he goes away and gets the little weak grounder right off the end of the bat. That's good pitching.
Thrown out by Young. Smoke takes third. And he's the first Mariner to get as far as third. There were 2 outs for Michael Saunders. The Rangers' next homestand opens Monday, April 23rd at 6:05 when the New York Yankees make their only regular season appearance in Texas. Tickets will go fast as always, so get yours for the 3-game set today at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. 7:05 for the 24th and the 25th. After the Rangers come home from their first road trip of the year, 9 games at Minnesota, Boston, and Detroit. Saunders popped out to Moreland his first trip.
Another first pitch strike with a curveball. Dropped it right on the outside part of the plate. Trying to pitch out of a man on second, no out situation here in the fourth.
15 of 16 Mariners have seen Lewis throw strike one. .68 pitches, only 21 balls. Only gone to 2 3-ball counts. 2-1 now to Saunders. .105 here this afternoon to wrap up the series in the homestand. It's Derek Holland against Jason Vargas. And Seattle will fly home for their home opener Friday against the A's. Grounder just does go foul. And 2 balls and 2 strikes. Colby now hearing the crowd behind him. 2-2 pitch. Just missed.
You can tell it's inside when Jorvit has to reach to his right just a little bit. Pretty good indication it missed.
Got him swinging with a breaking ball. 3rd strikeout for Lewis, who works around Justin Smoak's leadoff double and leaves him at 3rd. was the last AL pitcher to win the ERA title with a losing record?
I know that one. I get about 1 out of 10 of these, but even I know that one.
Tonight's your night. So at the bottom of the 4th, Cruz, Murphy, and Torrealba. Kevin Millwood into a groove, retiring 6 straight, and he starts Cruz with the strike. Nelly walked his first time up. That loaded the bases with a run already in the first, but he struck out Murphy. Walked the leadoff man in the second, Torrealba. He then stole second base, but since then, 3 strikeouts and 3 groundouts. Millwood spending 35 pitches in the first, about to throw pitch number 65.
Well, at one point in time, he'd thrown 46 pitches, 23 balls, 23 strikes. So since that time, he's improved. He's thrown 13 strikes and only 5 balls. So he's starting to get it together a little bit better. It's been tough to hit. Been kind of all over the place with his fastball. Hasn't really been a comfortable situation for the hitters.
Kevin said yesterday the Mariners really not on his radar screen as a possible team for this year until January. They brought him in hoping that he could contribute what he gave the Rocky staff the second half of last year. Solid work in 9 starts with Colorado. Deflects the hard grounder and chases it down to retire Cruz.
Well, the Mariners have a number of top young pitching prospects, and what they're looking for from Kevin is to kind of be a veteran presence on the staff who can give them a solid season as they try to develop those young pitchers for the future. They're not quite ready now, but they think they will be. See where that one hit Kevin. Kevin has a habit of trying to catch the ball. He wasn't trying to catch that one, but we saw Kevin many times on balls back through the middle where he would try to block it with his bare hand. I don't think that was the case that time, but it still might have hit him somewhere between the wrist and the elbow.
It looked like maybe the right thigh. Never appeared to be in much discomfort, but Eric Wedge, trainer, out to make sure he can stay, and judging by the chuckling you see from Wedge, apparently he is okay. In the meantime, here's Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, here at one of the newest additions here at the ballpark, center field, the Captain's Morgan Club. As you see downstairs, fans, a big thumbs up, enjoying the game. Also, great food here at the Captain Morgan's Club. They got burgers, they got nachos, they have everything. Excellent food. It's air conditioning, and one of the most important things after the game, hey, come on over here. You can watch Rangers live. It's bare right now, but Dana and Mac there after the game. Captain Morgan's Club, center field. Check it out, Dave.
Can't wait to make it out there.
It's pretty cool.
Great reviews up above the reconstructed visitors bullpen, left center field. Millwood is okay, will stay in, and he'll face Murphy, who struck out with the bases loaded to end the first. They did last night 3 for 3. Drove in the only run of the game with an infield hit. Doubled twice. The rest of the lineup went 4 for 28. David in the spring talked about trying to reverse his career trend of being a slow starter.
Say he's off to a pretty good start in that
direction. Yes, he is. .533 average coming into tonight. Working on taking pressure off of himself, just trying to be a cog in this dangerous lineup top to bottom. Seager over for a look, not quite room. And the Hisashi Iwakuma getting up in their bullpen now, with Millwood having taken that shot off of the thigh, and it's 71 pitches. David talking to himself about not trying to win games single-handedly, but last night that's pretty much what he did in pitcher's duel behind Neftali Feliz.
Seager's going to try to act like he caught this ball, facetiously, of course. Watch. Got it. Did it with a straight face, too.
Unfortunately for him, Dana DeMuth was right there. He saw how it actually ended up there. Murphy strikes out for the second time. 5th strikeout for Millwood.
Well, Kevin's had an effective fastball today. He hadn't had great command of it, but he's not missing over the middle of the plate, that's for sure. They're all a little bit high, a little bit on the outside part of the plate, not much in the center of the plate, in a good hitter zone, kind of all around the fringes.
Well, that's 8 in a row retired. Here's the last Ranger to reach, Torrealba, who had a leadoff walk in the second. Four of Millwood's 5 strikeouts have come since then. Moreland, Kinsler, Hamilton, and Murphy. This one driven through the hole and a base hit.
That was a well hit ball by Jorvik. Got a walk and a base hit today. Rangers rally in the first inning came with nobody on and 2 outs. And there's one of the handful of pitches that have been right down the middle of the plate. The other side of it is when you get it there, you still have to hit it. Jorvik took a good swing, hit it right on the good part of the bat.
So with 2 outs, Mitch Moreland. Millwood got him swinging in the second. Mitch 2 for 13 now for the season. Number off the end of the bat and the ball and a strike. Well, last night's 1-0 game, Neftali Feliz became the first in Rangers franchise history to win his first ever start by that score. Just the 10th 1-0 game in the history of this ballpark. The Rangers' 6th win. 4th straight. The park, which is probably the least likely in baseball to produce a 1-0 final. Here we are, second night in a row. Lewis and Millwood locked up. Very young Seattle team, the 2nd youngest in the league. Only Kansas City has a lower average age. Millwood is their 2nd oldest at age 37. Ichiro's 38. The 2-2. Right on the ground to Ackley. Another strong inning turned in by Millwood. 1 hit, 1 man left, and we go to the 5th 1-0. Night. Last AL pitcher to win the ERA title with a losing record was Kevin Millwood with the Indians in 2005. Kevin Millwood and Colby Lewis locked up in a veterans pitching duel tonight. Top of the 5th. Brendan Ryan, John Jaso, and Sean Figgins as Mark McLemore joins us. 2 nights in a row, 1-0. What is going on here?
Who would have thunk it? In Texas? In Texas, with our offense, 2 runs in 2 nights so far.
But for the Mariner offense, they are now looking at 20 consecutive scoreless innings. Going back to the 2nd inning against Darvish on Monday. They have not scratched out a thing. Close to opening day quality from Colby Lewis so far.
Colby's right there. He's on again. He's got his off-speed pitches working. He's hitting that outside corner pretty consistently and making them swing at his pitch.
This pop-up is chased just out of the reach of Michael Young and Nelson Cruz.
That ball's hitting Oakland. It's probably an easy out, but that cement wall takes a lot of the aggressiveness out of a fielder.
Oh, it really does.
Doesn't it, Mac? You've been there before.
Yeah, been there, done it. It's not an easy thing. When you're running full speed, you know that wall's coming up, and you've got to try and make a play and not hurt yourself in the process running into that brick wall. The one thing is, that wall's not going to move.
Nope.
Just missing by inches. So 0-2 to Ryan. He popped to short. First time up. Great catch by Andrews, running out to left field. Is back facing home plate. Almost popped out again.
You know, I never liked those ballparks that had all that foul territory like that. Oakland, you've got a mile on both sides of the baselines to run. Dodger Stadium is a lot like that. You don't find that too often in American League ballparks, but Oakland is by far the worst. And one of the reasons I hated it, well, 2 reasons. One, defensively, I had a lot of territory to cover, and I had a lot of pop-ups on those sides. So,
yeah, for a hitter, it's very frustrating. You pop a ball up that should be about 15 rows back, and the first baseman's waiting underneath it.
Yes, yes.
Well, Moreland puts that foul pop away. 1 out in the 5th. We'll bring up John Jaso. He grounded to first. Over from Tampa Bay in the offseason.
Yeah, Jaso a couple of years ago with Tampa Bay had a pretty good year. Last year he struggled offensively. His average was down in the 220s. When he first came up with Tampa Bay and we saw him, he looked like he's going to be a pretty solid hitter. Still a young guy, still has a lot of time left to put it back together again.
Tonight making his Mariner debut. He did not play in their first 6 games. Made the team after hitting just 174 in the Cactus League, 4 for 23. DHing tonight. Also catches. Murphy over toward the line with room. The 2nd straight foul out.
Well, an effective pitch by Colby Lewis. It's 2-0, and if you're Jaso, you have to be looking for a fastball right there. He got it, and he popped it up kind of weakly to left field.
I think he got away with one right there.
Yeah, he did. And as a hitter, you know, I think you got to go back and say, I'd let him get away with one right there. I mean, in 2-0, you got nothing to do but get out in front of a fastball. It used to be Ted Williams' pet peeve. 2-0, 3-1, 3-0 occasionally. If you swing, you can't be late on the fastball. You can be early, but you can't be late on the fastball. That was just his personal feeling. So he wouldn't be too happy after that at bat.
You know, there are a lot of old school guys that felt the same way. I remember Johnny hit me third one game. I have no idea why. I was swinging the bat well, but when you're on a team with Juan and Pudge and Rafi, and all of a sudden I'm hitting third, I really must have been swinging well. But he told me one thing. He said, number one, you're not going to bunt. And 2, if I give you the 3-0 swing, don't miss.
Yeah.
Well, I got the 3-0. I swung. I'm hitting left-handed, and I fouled one up here in the deck. And believe me, I did not want to go back to the dugout at all.
What did he say to you?
He got me, and he said, listen, you'll never hit third again. That was it. You'll never hit third again.
I never hit 3-0 again either, right?
I didn't. That's probably the only time I've ever swung 3-0 in a game.
You know, some hitters will tell you they don't like to hit 3-0. They're not comfortable 3-0.
Another chance for Murphy, and this one right on the line for a 1-2-3 fifth. They were covering some ground out there. For $10 upper level tickets, $10 cash parking, and a post-game fireworks show. First Verizon Wireless Fireworks Friday of the season is April 27th against the Tampa Bay Rays. To save on your tickets, just enter Verizon as the coupon code on TexasRangers.com. And Mark McLemore still with us here. Bottom of the fifth, top of the order, Kinsler, Ambrose, and Hamilton. That's a fair ball. Right over the bag, under smoke, and into the corner for a leadoff double.
I'm going to break my 0 for 5 streak now, guys.
What do you do with that hit? Right off the end of the bat?
I think it got jammed a little bit, maybe.
Jammed? I wasn't watching him. I just saw the ball kind of squirting down the right field line. Let's take a look.
Yeah, off the end.
It was outside, maybe cut it a little bit. It just cued it right off the end of the bat.
Beautiful.
Somehow it stayed fair.
I don't think I know you can't throw one better than that down the line.
Well, the Rangers have a couple of doubles tonight. Josh dumped one in front of Figgins. He's getting out of there, boy. That's a pulled hamstring and a pulled quad on the other side. Good agility right there, man. Pretty impressive.
Elvis will butt Kinsler to third.
Baseball.
Oh, this kind of a game, that's an important fundamental play. And now to finish it off, the hitter has to get the ball up in the air and hit it to the outfield and bring him in.
Ron Washington happy enough to let Elvis know about it. Elvis 0 for 2 tonight and 2 for 22 for the season, but he does his job, and with one out, Kinsler 90 feet away from a 2-run Ranger lead. And here's Josh Hamilton, who scored the run after a first inning 2-out double.
The way the Mariners are having a hard time scoring runs, they have to play the infield in right here. They can't feel like they're comfortable if the Rangers get up 2-0, even though that's not a very big lead.
It's a Seattle team that has not scored since the second inning on Monday. 21 consecutive scoreless innings. Mac, this is just game 7 for the Mariners. Is that too early? They already have a team-wide pall depression settling in.
I would hope that it's too early for any team to be in the first week of the season and be down. I mean, there's just got to be excitement. They haven't even been home yet.
Not deep, out to center. Saunders races in for the basket catch, and Kinsler has to stay put at third.
Well, Josh was just a little over aggressive in that bat. The first pitch he swung at was a ball, and that one was high as well.
Let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studio for a Mazda CX-5 game break. Here's Neil Beasley. All right, and Adrian Beltre with 2 outs will try and score Kinsler. First inning walk. Last time up, he bounced one back to Millwood. Adrian, 3 RBIs on the year so far, and bounces that one foul. 6 for his last 14 as he steps up here.
If you go back and look at that situation with Josh up and Kevin Millwood on the mound, needing to keep Josh from getting that sacrifice fly. You got the infield in, and really the only way to do it was either get a base hit or get that sacrifice fly. Millwood made a tremendous pitch, two tremendous pitches actually. First pitch, he threw him a little cutter on the inside part of the plate. Josh pulls it down the first baseline and then gets him to go after a high fastball to pop him up. That's what happens when you have that veteran pitcher. Now, if you have a younger guy in there that hasn't, doesn't have a lot of experience, you may have Eric Wedge, the Mariners manager, opt to walk Josh, put him on first base and set up a double play situation. But when you've got that veteran presence on the mound who's been around the block, knows how to pitch, knows what pitch he needs to throw to who and where, you can let him go ahead and face a hitter like Josh.
Yeah, Millwood had a good plan and executed his pitches.
What's this conversation about, Matt, do you think?
No idea.
None whatsoever. You can't be telling him that I'm gonna throw him this pitch and he's gonna hit a screamer down there to you because he's right-handed. So
he might be saying, if there's a ball that I have to cover, I'm a little tired, so take it yourself. I'm warning you ahead of time, but other than that, I don't know.
Give me a couple of extra minutes to get over there.
Unless that foul tip hit the catcher and they're trying to give him a little extra time.
Last 2 nights, Rangers just 2 for 14 with men in scoring position. That one brings Montero out of his crouch. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If you look at Kevin Millwood right now, you just would not think that he's in a major league game. He is just so calm. He doesn't show much emotion whatsoever. He's got ice water running through his veins. He never gets high, never gets too low. He's just that even-keeled guy day in and day out.
Way up and in. Well, that's his off-the-field personality. He takes it with him and is himself on the mound, right?
No matter where he's at, that's him. The way he's looking right now, pitching on the mound, that's how you see. That's how you see him. Any time away from the ballpark.
Most hitters he's been working away. Trying to come in on Beltre. The 3-2 pitch is popped up into shallow center again. Easier play this time for Saunders. And Millwood leaves Kinsler at third after the leadoff double. Maybe tomorrow, man.
You're going to have to take some BP, Matt. Get this offense going.
I'm going to have to do something. Man.
Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ace Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. We thought a 1-0 game here was rare last night. How about 2 in a row as we reach the 6th inning with Ackley, Ichiro, and Smoke to face Colby Lewis. Colby at 85 pitches, 57 for strikes through 5. Last inning is first to retire the Mariners in order. The first 4, he gave up 2 singles and 2 doubles, and that was it. One Mariner has gotten as far as 3rd. That was Justin Smoke after his leadoff double in the 4th inning. Ackley doubled in the 1st and stayed right at second base. And the Ranger first, a 2-out double by Hamilton, under the dive by Sean Figgins. After a Beltray walk, Michael Young singled Hamilton home. And there's your offense for the night, as Ackley strikes out for the 2nd straight time.
That's Colby. 2 fastballs and a breaking ball in the dirt.
Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Got to introduce you to a big-time Ranger fan. This is Vernon, 82 years young, from Fort Worth. He got hooked on the Rangers last year, came to a lot of games. How many games you plan on coming to this year, Vernon?
All of them.
Oh, okay. If they're on the road, what do you do, Vernon?
Watch them on TV and Tom Graves. Come on, Tom.
Big Tom Green fan. He got hooked with the Rangers, watched the Rangers for years, but came to a lot last year. Plans to come to all of them this year. He's got pretty good seats right here and celebrating Leah's 21st birthday. Way to go, Vernon.
Look at all our clips.
Okay.
Ichiro leaning back. Sent that one a long way, but hooked it way foul.
Well, Vernon's having a good time at the ballpark. Hope we can bring him home a win tonight.
Ichiro 3 for 5 Monday, 0 for 5 since then. Here's our Ford leaderboard. And Ichiro, just 4 more hits will tie George Brett for the most all-time against the Rangers pitching staff. Paul Molitor, Garrett Anderson on that list as well. 2-2 to Ichiro.
Ichiro pulled that ball deep that was inside that fastball, pulled it foul. Colby came right back with a fastball inside and jammed him with it.
Angels have taken a 4-3 lead at Minnesota on a 3-run inside the park homer by Peter Borges. They're in the top of the 7th. Skied out to shallow right, drifting back Michael Young in front of Cruz, out number 2.
You don't see a lot of inside the park home runs, but if you say it's Peter Borges, I wouldn't be surprised. That's probably a triple for everybody else.
No telling how many he'll end up with. Carl Pavano still on the mound for the Twins, who have a homer by Josh Willingham, his 3rd. Rangers started the day first in the West by a 1.5 over the Angels and these Mariners. Justin Smoke struck out in the 1st, doubled in the 4th. There's the curves. Been there all night for Lewis.
You can throw you a slow, big breaking ball, or you can throw a slider that is much faster, sharper breaking, and not as big breaking, but goes down, and Smoke swung right over the top of it.
For Colby, it's really a repeat of opening day. He was shutting out the White Sox into the 6th, and they got their only 2 runs. Trying to shut out Seattle into the 7th, 1 out away from doing so. Making it 22 straight scoreless innings for the Mariners.
Went for the strikeout right there. Tried to get him to swing at that slider down and in.
White Sox swung and missed at that all day Friday. The A's have beaten Kansas City in 12 innings, 5-4. And the A's now 3-4. They were 2.5 back of the Rangers. Early scoreboard watching tonight. Here's the 100th pitch of the night, and it's a call, strike 3. Smoke letting Kerwin Danley know what he thought of it. 2 strikeouts, another 1-2-3 inning. Time for the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $500 in dinner for 2 at a Sonic drive-in. Tonight the Rangers are hitting for Gale Russell from Fort Worth. If the Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Gale Russell will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. As we wait our first winner of the year, young Cruz and Murphy to bat in the bottom of the 6th against Kevin Millwood, who searched for his command in the first inning and has really locked it in from the 2nd inning on. Michael drove in the game's only run with a 2-out single, scoring Hamilton in the 1st. Grounded to 2nd in the 3rd, and that is Steve Delabar begins to loosen with Millwood at 93 pitches. He threw 35 of those in the 1st. But did tremendously well to limit the Rangers to just 1 run. He struck out Murphy with the bases loaded, and he strikes out Young on 3 pitches.
Well, the last 2 nights, Blake Bevan and Kevin Millwood have thrown strong games against the Rangers. Rangers in the first game against the Mariners scored 11 runs, pounded the ball. But Blake Bevan last night was very tough. Kevin's very tough tonight. Not a lot of well-hit balls for the Rangers tonight.
37-year-old following a 23-year-old. Here's Cruz, who walked in the 1st to load the bases. Bounced back to Millwood in the 4th. Same club that pounded out 11 runs on Monday, limited to 2 since then. Check swing off the fist. Seattle has not scored since the second inning on Monday, when against Yu Darvish they took a 5-2 lead. Very short-lived. Rangers tied it in the third Monday, took the lead for good in the fourth. Off Montero, looking a little woozy. Rangers have now played 50 1/3 innings on the season, and they have trailed after only 4 of those. So, remarkable front running this first homestand of the season. That's how they do it here at the ballpark. They've won 11 of their last 12 home games. They've won 6 consecutive series, trying to clinch tonight what will be their 7th straight series, and 11-1 with 1 split in their last 13 home series.
There've been a lot of years with the Rangers where you just don't expect to win if you don't score 4 or 5 runs. Rangers already this year have won 1-0, and they've won 3-2. And when they've had to score runs in Yu Darvish's game, they scored 11 runs. So they're doing what it takes. But through it all, getting strong pitching.
And Cruz waves at that one out of the zone. And Montero throws him out to complete the 2nd straight strikeout, 7th of the night for Millwood. We said it took him 35 pitches in the first, and look how he has settled down since then.
Well, they had him on the ropes in the first inning. They had the bases loaded, and Kevin had a 3-0 count on David Murphy. And he pitched out of that jam, and since that time, he's been very difficult. Darvish kind of did the same thing. He had to get out of a bases loaded 1-out jam after already having 4 runs in. Got Figgins to make the last out on a little ground ball. Got a strikeout before that. Otherwise, there could have been more damage in the first inning with his game, and Scott Feldman would have been in the game.
So here's Murphy. He has struck out both times up tonight.
A lot of high fastballs by Kevin today. It's almost like that's his game plan. Pound the upper part of the strike zone a little bit high, a little bit outside, and it's been very effective.
Now at 100 pitches. And high again, 2-0. Only once has he gotten the Rangers in order. That was in the 3rd. Very impressive Mariner debut for the veteran from North Carolina. Fought his way back from the minors last year. And 2-2, Murphy out in front. The 2-2 pitch is popped up. Into foul territory goes Kyle Seager, and Millwood has his second 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the 7th in another 1-0 ball game. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T Rethink Possible. And by Jack in the Box. Love bacon? Then try the new BLT Cheeseburger Combo for only $4.99 plus tax. On to the 7th. They brought in a Tom Grieve and Colby Lewis right at 100 pitches as they'll work to Seager, Montero, and Saunders. And a first pitch strike now for the 18th time to 23 batters.
Rangers have Alexi Ogando ready and warmed up in the bullpen in case Colby runs into any problems here in the 7th inning. Seager's seen a lot of slow curveballs. He's swinging hard at them, but barely getting a piece out of most of them. There's Alexi loosening up.
The 0-2 pitch to Seager, got him swinging. Third strikeout in the last 4 batters for Lewis, 6th overall.
It's kind of a frustrating night for the hitters on both sides against these veteran pitchers. Colby's doing his thing against the Mariner hitters, and against a much tougher lineup, Kevin Millwood's doing the same thing. Good night for both the pitchers.
Matching 4 hitters. Montero has one of those, singled in the 2nd. Last time he grounded to 2nd. And the Angels have added a run to their lead. Now in the bottom of the 7th. They're up 5-3 at Minnesota. We said Montero's mother was a catcher for the Venezuelan national softball team. He has a younger brother who was a catcher in the Cardinals organization. And this grounder on the left side for Elvis Andrus. You can visit MLB.com/fan-guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 this year at a Major League Baseball World Series game presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. $11 in a row retired by Colby Lewis since Justin Smoke led off the 4th with a double. Saunders has popped up and struck out. The outside corner that time. A ball.
He is just dropping that curveball in at will. And you see early in the count, he'll throw it for a strike. With 2 strikes, he'll throw it for a ball and try to get them to swing at it. Early in the count, a lot of times the Mariner hitters have taken the curveball for a strike. Strategies work very well.
That one is hammered into the corner in right field. Cruz comes up firing, but it is a 2-out double for Michael Saunders. That ends the run of 11 straight sat down by Lewis.
Tried to get the cutter down and in, but it spun and stayed right in the middle of the plate. And with a man on second, Colby at 109 pitches. Looks like Wash is going to go to Alexi.
Well, Colby has extended a run now at 22 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings by Ranger pitching. 6 2/3 of 5-hit shutout ball without a walk tonight. And a well-deserved ovation for the Rangers ace.
Rondo on for Texas in relief of Colby Lewis, and a big day for the Rangers organization as Ian Kinsler signs a 5-year extension that will keep him with this organization at least through 2017. And it was nice to see him look a little relieved after all was said and done.
Car ran good. Car ran good.
Good to see that with this new contract, you've really matured. Let's talk about how nice it is to get it done.
No, it's extremely refreshing, and it definitely takes some stress off and allows me to take a deep breath, I guess. But at the same time, it wasn't really going to change the way I played or the way that I approached the game and what I expected out of myself and out of the team. That doesn't change, and it's just nice that the Rangers show that they appreciate me and stepped out on this deal.
And in case you missed the movie reference there at the beginning of that soundbite, it was from Talladega Nights. Ian Kinsler always liking to have a little bit of fun in the clubhouse. I didn't know what movie it was from. I'm sure you guys up on your pop culture knew exactly what Ian was talking about, right?
A comedy classic, Talladega Nights. Here is Alexi Ogando, who has retired 10 of the 11 batters he has faced so far this year.
In the first game of the series, Alexi came in to get one out in the 6th inning for Yu Darvish and then pitched the 7th inning. So he pitched an inning in the 3rd. Ogando's pitched now in 4 out of the Rangers' 6 games. Mike Adams pitched in 4 out of the first 5. So we'll see if Mike is available tonight. It might just be that if everything works out the way Ron Washington wants it to, Ogando pitches 1 out in the 7th and then pitches the 8th if Adams isn't available, and then possibly Joe Nathan, who would be pitching for the 4th time in 6 days. The good thing about the guys in the bullpen, Adams, Ogando, and Nathan, who have pitched frequently, is that when they have pitched, they haven't used a lot of pitches. They haven't had 20 pitch innings. In fact, they've had almost all low pitch innings, 8 to 13 pitches. And so even though you've had a lot of appearances, they haven't been taxing appearances in the way of a lot of pitch counts. Mike's thrown a lot of strikes, but he has been in 4 out of the 5 games.
Well, this Ranger bullpen early on, the best in baseball with an ERA of 0.63. 1 earned run at 14 in the 3rd innings, 8 and a 3rd consecutive scoreless innings. Two pitch to Brendan Ryan. Just inside at 97. It is full up.
I would say, if anything, Kerwin Danley has had a hitter's plate tonight. I don't think he's had a bad strike zone, but he hasn't really given very many pitches off the plate to the pitchers. If they want to get a strike, they have to throw a strike. In that regard, he's had a very consistent strike zone, but definitely not a wide strike zone.
3-2, and he gets him swinging with a breaking ball. Saunders left at second. Stretch time at the ballpark, and another 1-0 game. By Burger King, only 4 base hits against Kevin Millwood in his 6 innings. Young drove in the run back in the first. Millwood struck out 7, walked 3. They were all early. Rangers had a shot at a big first inning, but left the bases loaded. Since then, have managed only 2 hits. As Millwood gives way after 103 pitches to Steve Delabar.
Seen Delabar in this series. He's got a good arm, good fastball, mid-90s fastball. Dave has told the story about Delabar. It's a very interesting story on how he got to the big leagues. I'm sure he's very happy to be here, but he's earned it. He's throwing the ball pretty well.
This time last year, substitute teaching in his home state of Kentucky. Signed with the Mariners as a minor league free agent last April 20th. 2 years ago, didn't pitch at all with a fractured elbow. 08 and 09, he was laboring in the independent leagues. And he starts Torrealba with a strike. He's reached both times, a walk, and the Rangers' first stolen base of the season back in the second. But Millwood settled in right then and retired the next 3 with strikeouts of Moreland and Kinsler. Thereafter, allowed only 2 base runners, one of whom was Torrealba with a 2-out single in the 4th. That is the new $26 dog, and he doesn't have any help, it doesn't look like.
It's tough to eat that dog if you're not sitting next to somebody you know. You got to hold that dog backwards. Looks like a...
Maybe he's going to share after all.
Looks like a case you might carry a trumpet in.
Plant a nice row of flowers set outside your window. And you see why Delabar has made the big leagues. Not only throwing as well as pre-injury, but better. You can crank it up to the high 90s. That one at 95. And the 2-2 pitch on the way.
That other guy checking the hot dog out is looking for something good. I think all that's left is the bread. He's having a hard time finding any hot dog. Still looking for something. He's kind of picked around at a little bit, but I think the big guy in the blue ate all the good stuff.
3-2 to Jorvik. Moreland next, then Kinsler here in the 7th. Rangers can really use the insurance run or 2.
Twins scored a couple in the 7th. They tied it up at 5-5. Get 5 runs in a game Jared Weaver starts. That's pretty good.
To right field, Ichiro into the gap, reaches up, staggers all the way to the warning track, but he hangs on for the out. Our Coors Light freeze can back in the first inning. Sean Figgins trying to rob Hamilton just under his glove, and Josh ends up with a 2-out double. Trey scores on Michael Young's single.
Well, Jorvita's had 3 really good at-bats tonight. He walked, stole a base, had a hard hit base hit to left, and that shot to right center that Ichiro took an extra base hit away from him. Well, good swings tonight.
Pitch, a strikeout in the 2nd, a grounder to 2nd in the 4th. Mariners have out-hit the Rangers 5-4.
That's what Mitch has to do. A lot of pitchers are throwing Mitch high fastballs so far early in the year. And the way to keep them from doing that is to take that pitch. Tough pitch to take for a lot of hitters because it's a borderline strike. But most of the times those pitches will be called balls.
Twins tying it up on a 2-run Chris Parmalee double in the bottom of the 7th. 5-5 with the Angels. Still batting. Troy Hawkins on out of the Angel bullpen at Target Field. The Rangers will head there after tomorrow afternoon's last game of the homestand.
And some people may say it's way too early in the season to be scoreboard watching. I don't buy that. I think when you're in a battle with another team like the Angels, you watch the scoreboard every day. I also really think that people say they don't watch the scoreboard, I don't know who's telling the truth. How can you not look at the scores and not want to see what the Angels did?
A win or a loss on April 11th is the same as a win or a loss on September 30th.
Exactly. I want to know what they're doing every day.
3-2 pitch from Delabar. It's foul back. Who could have ever predicted after last night's 1-0 final we'd be hooked up in another 1-0 game 24 hours later? Call strike. And Moreland is 0 for 3.
And it definitely caught the outside edge of the plate according to our Fox tracks. A changeup, splitter or changeup, 86 miles an hour on the 3-2 pitch. Tough pitch.
Here's Kinsler, fly to center, struck out before a leadoff double in the 5th. Last chance the Rangers had to score. Andrews sacrificed him to third, but Hamilton and Beltre both flied to shallow center. Before last night, the last 1-0 game here was July 23rd of 2010 against the Angels. One in 2009 against the Blue Jays, one against the Seattle team 2008. That was the first in 4 years. And now back to back. Well hit to left field. Higgins is back. It is gone. Not 1-0 anymore.
Looked like Ian got an off-speed pitch. He's a little bit out in front of it. Didn't quite get all of it, but he got enough of it to hit it about 355 feet over the 354-foot zone. Just enough of it to get what in this game is a big run. Off speed. Good hitter's pitch. Delabar's hoping it stays in the ballpark. Ian's hoping it sneaks out of here, and Ian's wish came true.
A little breathing room. Kinsler's 3rd home run in the first 6 games of the season. Just over the wall. 368 feet. And 1-1 to Elvis. 2 groundouts before the sacrifice in the 5th. Earlier today, the contract extension made official. And he helps the Rangers go for their 3rd straight win in this 4-game series with that long ball. One of the prettiest swings in baseball to watch when he gets one like that. A lot of people wish he didn't have the uppercut. Concentrate on the batting average. We talked about that at length last year, Tom, that the on-base percentage is what Ron Washington pays attention to, as well as the ability to hit 30 out, which he's done a couple times.
Yeah, whether you're talking fantasy baseball or real life baseball, the numbers that Ian puts up and what he does in the leadoff spot.
Elvis gets a hold of that one to deep left, and it is gone.
Well, the Ranger bats were quiet for most of this game, but they've come to life with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Elvis showing that upper body strength that he added in the offseason with that home run to deepest part of left center.
It's a pretty swing to watch, too.
Elvis hit that well enough to where he knows that ball's gone.
Wiggins knew it pretty quickly, too. First home run for Ambrose since last September 17th at Safeco Field in Seattle. Back-to-back with Kinsler to chase Delabar. Litke on to work, lefty to Josh Hamilton. Litke, a product of Texas high school baseball. Born in Brenham, out of Belleville High School, All-State, then the San Jacinto Junior College, and 1 year for the Rice Owls in 2008.
That's pretty much the way the Ranger offense is. You may shut it down for a while, but sooner or later there's just too many weapons in the lineup. It's too difficult to pitch through those 9 guys time after time. And Kevin Millwood did a pretty nice job of 2nd through the 6th inning of pitching through the lineup a couple of times. But when they started to come around for the 4th time, it's been a little bit different. Elvis pounds a ball like that, you're almost to the point where you can say all 9 guys in the lineup are a threat to hit the ball out of the ballpark. That was a long home run to left center field. That wasn't one down the right field line or one just down the left field line or one that was windblown. That was one Elvis juiced out of here.
3-1 to Hamilton. Just the 2nd major league appearance by Litke. A 3rd of an inning against the A's before tonight. That one popped up off the fist. Montero chases but runs out of room. And 3-2. Litke just turned 25. Mariners got him as a Rule 5 pick from Milwaukee in December. And the 3-2 pitch strikes him out. But the Rangers get a couple of big insurance runs on back-to-back 2-out solo shots. The first one by Kinsler. And right behind him came Elvis Andrus. delivery of the game. What a night for Colby Lewis. 6 2/3 shutout innings. 5-hit ball. He struck out 6 and did not walk a batter. 109 pitches.
Well, all the Ranger pitchers are different. They're all fun to watch. But when Colby has it going like he has in his first 2 starts of the year, it's just a lot of fun to watch him pitch. You can just see how he's working the hitters over. Fastball in, fastball away, curveball for strike 1, hard slider 0-2 for strike 3. Just kind of a masterful way of pitching that he's got going so far this year. That's the way he pitches.
So down 3-0 now. Jaso. Then the top of the order, Figgins and Ackley. Jaso in his Mariners debut is grounded to first and fouled out to the then left fielder David Murphy. Usual late inning outfield change for the Rangers. Craig Gentry has entered the game in center field, and Hamilton has moved over to left. Gondo came in and struck out Brendan Ryan, with Michael Saunders in scoring position, the tying run after a 2-out double, chasing Lewis. And now quickly out in front of Jaso. Former Tampa Bay Ray catcher. DHing tonight for Eric Wedge, 2-2. Twins have taken the lead on the Angels. They got 3 in the 7th. Angels now batting the 8th, and it's 6-5 Minnesota. Logando goes full now to both hitters he's faced.
Yeah, that was some kind of pitch he got Ryan on. Man on second, 3-2 slider.
That is trouble. Into the right field corner it goes. And to second base, heading for 3 now is Jaso. Young's relay, not in time. Run down nicely up the line by Beltre. A leadoff triple.
Jaso has a quick bat, and you could see it on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It looked like it was on the inside part of the plate. Did a nice job of turning on that ball and ripping it down the right field line. Up and in like that, that's not that easy a pitch to hit that hard.
His first hit as a Mariner, their 3rd triple of the year. And here's Figgins, who has a triple as well tonight. He is grounded out, singled, and flied out. Second time the Mariners get a runner as far as third base. Back in the 4th, Justin Smoke led with a double. Took third on a ground out, stayed there as Saunders struck out. Some of Lewis's best clutch pitching of the night. "23 consecutive scoreless innings put up by Rangers pitching in jeopardy now. Gondo 8 to 10 miles an hour above Lewis's average fastball velocity tonight. Colby really featuring the curve in this game. Breaking ball gets Figgins. There's out number 1.
And both of Ogando's strikeouts have come after 97-mile-an-hour fastballs. And then the hard slider down and into Figgins, down and away to Ryan. Tough to lay off that pitch when you know you have to be quick to counteract the heat that he throws. And then you don't have a lot of time to decide whether or not that's a fastball, a slider, a strike, or a ball. That's why you see a hitter swing at a pitch like that.
Here's Dustin Ackley. He doubled in the 1st. But Seattle couldn't advance him. Last 2 trips he struck out swinging both times on 3 pitches. And the Mariners are on the board for the first time since the 2nd inning on Monday. Ackley with his 4th RBI of the year, and it's 3-1. So Jaso comes home.
That slider kind of flattened out a little bit up in the zone. Ackley's a good-looking young hitter.
So that brings up Ichiro as the potential tying run. 0 for 3 tonight. His fly to center, fouled out to Torrealba and popped to Young. 0 for 6 his last 2 games after 3 hits Monday. He has hit a number 3 slot all 7 games after 1,203 consecutive in the leadoff slot. So Seattle with a healthy Sean Figgins taking over the leadoff role. Ichiro's batting average and on-base percentage plummeted last year, now 38. They drop him down, have Smoke and Seager. Montero, young hitters behind him. One ball and 2 strikes. A natural right-handed hitter. Ichiro's father put a full-size bat and glove in his hands at the age of 3. And that started the process of turning him into a left-handed hitter. Practiced every day, 3rd grade through high school. Well, we can see the results. Up the middle, right on top of the bag. Elvis turns it into 2.
Did that ball hit Ogando? Or you just duck out of the way of it?
Let's see. Yeah, right off his bat.
Right off the shoulder, slowed it down so Elvis could get to it.
Make it a 1. Who went back-to-back homering after Kinsler with 2 outs in the 7th to make this at that time a 3-0 game. 3-1. Litke working to Beltre, Young, and Cruz here in the bottom of the 8th. A walk, a grounder to the mound, and a fly to center for Adrian tonight. Joe Nathan starting to throw in the Ranger bullpen. He'll be ready for the 9th inning. As the Rangers really put it out of reach here in the 8th. Driven high to medium center field. Sounded better than it actually ended up. Saunders camps under it for out number 1. And here's Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be Megan. She's a big-time Ranger fan. Comes all the way in from Ohio where she lives to watch the Rangers celebrate a birthday. Comes armed with this nice sign, "Kiss Me, it's my birthday," courtesy of her friend. What's the kiss count up to, Megan?
7, but I'm looking for number 8.
Number 8. Okay, well, glad you said that. It's going to be Red, White, and Blue Man. Come on in, big guy. There we go. All right, very good. Okay, enough Red, White, and Blue guy. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Here's the bag. Here's the hat. Happy birthday. Got some paint on your face, but it's well worth it. Progressive fan of the game. Way to go, Megan.
All right, and the
biggest moment in Red, White, and Blue Man's life, I'll tell you that.
Well, it worked out rather nicely for him.
I thought Jim Knox was going to be number 8.
I was wondering myself. That was the whole idea out there.
Second line drive hit for Michael Young. One to knock in the first run for the Rangers in the first inning.
And here's Cruz yet to get anything out of the infield. A walk in the first. That loaded the bases with the run in.
You know, the Rangers have played a lot of close games. They've had 3 one-run games. This is a 2-run game. And they've been ahead in most of the games. That's why at the end of this game, in all likelihood, depending on what happens this inning, Adams, Ogando, and Joe Nathan will all have pitched in 4 out of the 6 games. Everyone else in the bullpen has pitched once. Mark Lowe, Koji Uehara, Robbie Ross, Scott Feldman. But the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning guys, Ogando, Adams, and Nathan, have been asked to pitch a lot because the games have been close games with a Ranger lead.
If they anchor the best bullpen in the majors here in week 1. 0.63 ERA coming into tonight. Finally touched Ogando for a run. 1-2 to Cruz after that walk in the first. Grounded back to Millwood and struck out. The last 2 nights, outstanding starts by Blake Bevan and Kevin Millwood, barring a 9th inning rally out of nowhere. Both will go for naught as the Rangers try to come out of the gate 5-1, 6-0 start. 2-2, grounded foul. Whitkey at Double-A Huntsville last year. A strikeout per inning. The Mariners' eye. They took him, we said, as a Rule 5 pick in December. Holding Young at first there with 1 out. Michael 2 for 4 tonight with an RBI. Kinsler 2 for 4, double and a homer. Rangers have really made the most of their 7 hits. NASCAR returns to Texas Motor Speedway for night racing during the Samsung Mobile 500 race this weekend. You could win tickets by texting FSN to 63767 right now. Text FSN to 63767 for a chance to win. Cruz goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Lucas Litke. 2 outs here in the 8th. Our Coors Light Cold Hard blasts. First, Kinsler. With 2 outs in the 7th, 2-0. Andrews followed him up on a 3-1 pitch to make it 3-0 with his first homer since last September in Seattle. Mariners get one of those runs back in the 8th. And Craig Gentry now batting after coming in defensively in center field. Murphy tonight was 0 for 3. Second at bat of the season for Craig. He hit in the 8th on Monday. Young going on the pitch, which is grounded foul. Gentry, the Rangers Rookie of the Year last year. Important for him to stay healthy in the spring. He just couldn't do it. Wrist, hamstring, knee problems, and fought off a virus as well out in Arizona. Looking ahead to the Seattle 9th. Middle of their order: Smoke, Seager, and Montero. Nathan last night struck out Smoke. Got Seager to fly out to end the game. Also faced Ichiro, who lined to right for the first out of the night. Back here tomorrow afternoon for the last game of the homestand, 1:05 here on Fox Sports Southwest. If you can't join us in person at the ballpark, Eric Holland against Jason Vargas. Matchup of left-handers. Vargas will be making his 3rd start already. He started in Tokyo against the A's and then again Friday in Oakland. It's very well so far. Blocked in the dirt by Montero. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In Minnesota, the Twins are trying to finish off the Angels. They are batting in the top of the 9th. Twins leading 6-5. A little looper out of the shallow right, coming in hard. Ichiro for the basket catch. Out number 3. So on to the 9th and Joe Nathan time here at the ballpark.
Ford Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Ford dealer and drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By Burger King, proud sponsor of opening week baseball. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Joe Nathan on in search of his third save in a Ranger uniform. He follows an inning and a third by Alexio Gondo, who allowed the only Seattle run on the Jaso triple and the Ackley RBI single in the eighth.
Yeah, Joe's given up one run. That was a home run. Very sharp in his save last night in the 1-0 game. Just came in and quickly put down 1-2-3 the Seattle Mariners in the 9th inning.
Succession of 3-pitch at bats. He struck out Smoke. Justin has struck out twice tonight. In between, he led off the fourth with the double and waves at that breaking ball. So an inning and a third for Alexio Gondo. A run on 2 hits. He struck out 2. He was following 6 2/3 masterful innings from Colby Lewis. 5 hits, struck out 6. And the Mariners have not been issued a walk tonight. They got only 2 last night, and they were both in the first inning from Neftali Feliz. Two and 1 to Smoke. Ranger fans, Chevy is proud to present a new show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. Tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. here on Fox Sports Southwest or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. 32,342 in Rangers ballpark tonight. Tom, a lot of times sounded even louder than that big of a crowd.
Great crowd tonight.
As the game pressed on inning after inning, 1-0. They really rose behind Colby Lewis. He retired 11 in a row at one point. And a base hit to right field to start the 9th inning. Justin Smoke is 2 for 4.
When Smoke works himself into a fastball count, which you're looking fastball all the way anyway, but he's hit some line drives. That's a 3rd line drive he's hit in a couple of days like that. He's looking fastball all the way, and that's pretty much the same pitch he drove to the exact same spot in right field last night, kind of up and on the outside part of the plate. Joe got behind with off-speed pitches, came in with a fastball with a 2-run lead, and Smoke had a nice swing at it.
Meaning Nathan now faces the potential tying run at the plate, and Seager, who's lined to first, popped to short and struck out. And it's all over at Target Field. The Twins hang on, beat the Angels 6-5. Angels got the tying run scoring position in the 9th. But LA falls to 2-3. As the Rangers try to get to 5-1. It would be a 2.5 game lead. It's never too early. Watch that scoreboard. The Angels are involved. And high 2-0 to Seager. As 4 of the first 6 pitches missed the strike zone tonight from Nathan.
Yeah, this is one where Joe's going to have to dig down tonight. He doesn't have quite the same precision that he had last night. Everything was crisp and sharp and right where he wanted it last night. Through 6 pitches. Not quite the same today. You have to battle through it. One thing that definitely helps is when you've been a closer, and as good a closer as Joe has for as long as he has, you don't get rattled out there. Get in a tough situation, get behind in the count. You know what's been successful. You know how to execute it. Just take a deep breath and go do it.
Ground ball for a double play would be optimal here. 2-1 pitch. Ripped into the right field corner. Smoke headed for third. And into second goes Seager, and the Mariners have the tying runs in scoring position with nobody out here in the ninth. Mike Maddox will come out for a chat.
That's got it right pretty much in the center of the plate. A little bit flat with a breaking ball, not quite as sharp as last night. And a couple of hittable balls for Smoke and Seager. And now it's a real jam.
Second time for Nathan to work back-to-back. He has been the best in baseball since he's been a closer. His years at Minnesota in terms of save percentage in the second of back-to-back opportunities. But after the opening day save, took the loss on Saturday. And immediate trouble here. And pinch running is Munenori Kawasaki. So he takes over for Seager. And here is Montero. Singled his first trip, 2 ground outs since. One of the top rated prospects in baseball, Montero, in the Yankee system, over at the price of right-hander Michael Pineda in the offseason. 0-2. And this crowd, which helped Lewis along, now trying to do the same for Nathan. Hit well to right field. Cruz on the track has the out. Both runners move up. Smoke comes home, and it's 3-2. Jesus Montero drives in his second run as a Seattle Mariner on the sac fly.
Trying to throw it away, but it comes back toward the middle of the plate. Joe's got him no balls and 2 strikes. He's trying to make a perfect pitch right there. And you could see where Torrealba had his glove outside, but the movement on the ball brought it back toward the plate a little bit. Turned into a pretty good pitch for Montero. He got the job done. He got the run in, moved the runner over. Rangers will play the infield in, trying to cut that run off at the plate.
Michael Saunders popped to first, struck out. Last time up, a 2-out double in the 7th to Chase Lewis, who had retired 11 straight before then. Right in off the fist. Nathan here hoping for an Adam ground ball, a pop-up, strikeout. Anything to keep Kawasaki at third, with light hitting Brendan Ryan in the on-deck circle. Ryan has not gotten anything out of the infield yet in this series. Mariners push across runs in the 8th and 9th after not scoring for the final 7 innings Monday at all last night. And seeing that scoreless stretch get to 3 2/3 innings tonight. And that one will tie it up into right center field. Saunders headed to second. And he is in there as the ball gets away from Ambrose.
Oh, what a throw from Gentry. One hop throw right on the bag.
But Kawasaki comes home on the second RBI of the season for Saunders with his second straight double. It is 3-3.
The one thing that's been the case with Joe so far tonight is slider's a little bit flat. He's not getting it to bite down and in. And that one was a little bit too much of the plate. And a really nice throw from Gentry. Looked like Saunders was going to beat it there anyway.
So now the go-ahead run in scoring position. Ryan tonight has popped to short, fouled out first, and struck out. 0 for 6, 3 strikeouts in the series. A rip and a miss. And Robbie Ross may be needed. Left-handed Jaso in the on-deck circle. Nothing in 2. So we look ahead now to the Ranger ninth. And the 8, 9, and 1 slots are due up. Torrealba, Moreland, and Kinsler. And the Seattle closer, Brandon League, begins to throw. Runner goes, throw to third, not in time. Saunders steals third base.
Well, that's a big steal. Get a man to third base with 1 out in a tie ball game in the 9th inning. Big play by Saunders.
Torrealba's throw right there, just a hair late.
Well, you want the strikeout right here if you can get it.
Infield in. 1 ball, 2 strike count. There's the strikeout, out number 2.
That's exactly what you had to have right there. You didn't want Ryan to put the ball in play. And there's a slider where Joe got that one right where he wanted it. Sharp breaking, went down, kept it out of the strike zone, got the batter to swing at it.
Tom Wilhelmsen also throwing out in the Seattle bullpen.
It may be a case where if it's a tie game, it's Wilhelmsen, and if it's not, it could be Brandon League, the closer.
Well, John Jaso ignited this Seattle comeback. He led off the 8th with a triple on a 3-2 pitch off of Ogando. And 2 batters later, singled home by Ackley. Nathan here in the 9th, leadoff single by Smoke. Seager doubled in the 3rd. Montero on a sac fly brought home Smoke, and then Saunders doubled in the pinch runner Kawasaki. 90 feet away from the lead. Chance for John Jaso to be a hero in his Mariner debut. Good curve dropped in for a strike. This will be the 21st pitch for Nathan. A 1-0 game until the Rangers got 2 in the 7th. Mariners have answered in the 8th and the 9th. 2-2. And Nathan a strike away from keeping it 3-3.
Yep, trying to battle through, make it a 3-3 game, let the Rangers score and make it a walk-off win.
Up the middle, base hit. Seattle takes the lead. John Jasos, first run batted in as a Mariner, and it's a 3-run 9th inning.
Well, Joe's out there giving it all he's got and battling. He just couldn't quite make the pitch to get out of the inning. And you got to give the Mariner hitters credit. The last couple of days it's been quiet, a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings, a lot of weak at bats, but here in the 9th inning they've had a lot of good at bats. They've hit the ball pretty hard and they were due to score some runs. They've gone out and done it.
Figgins with the first pitch, long run over toward the line and not quite able to get there. Hamilton, despite a great effort. Well, the way he started this season defensively, shocking to see anything elude his grasp. Just in the webbing, too. But not for long. Sean Figgins, single in 4 trips, struck out last time. Three runs on 4 hits and a sacrifice fly. As the Mariner offense explodes out of nowhere here in the 9th. There he goes as a really tough no decision for Colby Lewis for 6 2/3 shutout innings. Struck out 6, allowed only 5 base hits, didn't walk a batter.
Well, and the other side of it is you'll take a 2-run lead to Joe Nathan in the 9th inning every time.
Yep.
It just so far in this game it just hasn't worked out, but that's a situation that you'll be successful many times. It just didn't work tonight.
The 0-2 to Figgins, and he gets him swinging. But Seattle takes the lead. Just the 5th inning so far this season in which the Rangers have trailed. Torrealba to lead off the bottom of the 9th. will face one of the top closers in the league last year here in the 9th inning. Brandon League, who was 3rd in the American League with 37 saves and pitched the 7th inning of the All-Star game.
He's got a really good fastball with movement. His fastball can reach the mid-90s. He also has a splitter that can be very, very difficult to hit.
Nori Kawasaki, who pinch ran for Kyle Seager, staying in the game at 3rd base. And first up for League will be Torrealba, who walked in the 2nd, stole the Rangers' first base of the year, but was left at 2nd base. Since then, a single, and last time up, fly to right as Ichiro made a terrific catch. And Brandon League, 2 for 2 so far this year in save opportunities, misses at 94 miles an hour. Just turned 29. 2-0. He's a ground ball machine. 77% ground ball ratio. Since debuting in 04. Torrealba lets the strike go by. You look at League last year, a team that only won 67. He saved 37. 55% of their wins. Behind here, 3-1.
They'll make him throw 2 strikes right here.
Born in Sacramento, out of Honolulu St. Louis High School, where he was the Gatorade Hawaii Player of the Year, taken in the 2nd round by the Blue Jays, 2001 draft. Lifted to right field, easy play for Ichiro. One gone in the bottom of the 9th. Here's Mitch Moreland. League over from Toronto, December of 09 for Brandon Morrow. Mitch tonight has struck out twice and grounded to 2nd. And 2 for 15 so far on the year. One of those hits, game-winning 2-run homer Monday night. And takes low. He can get on. Kinsler is the on-deck circle. His last 2 trips, he has doubled and homered.
Nice catch. Barehanded that line shot. Probably saved someone behind him from getting drilled. I like the way he acts too, like he's done it before.
Outside corner, 1 and 2.
Well, that's a tough pitch to hit right there. Like a splitter. And didn't look like a strike either. Haven't seen many pitches like that called a strike tonight.
Reaches out and spoils that one into the seats. And a nice catch on the carom this time.
Very similar pitch right there. A little lower. A little closer to the strike zone too.
Into right center. There's a base hit. And Mitch Moreland, the tying run at first with 1 out for Ian Kinsler.
They threw him 3 straight off-speed pitches. Mitch took one, fouled one off, and then with a nice swing, waited on it, Pretty good pitch, too, down and away. Pretty much right where League was trying to throw it. Just nice job of hitting by Mitch. Line that ball into right center field.
And he is going to be lifted for Brandon Snyder on the run. Boy, Tom, wasn't really that the pre-injury approach by Mitch Moreland. Here's Kinsler back in the seventh. 2 outs. A 1-1 pitch, 368 feet. Just enough, and that made it 2-0. Andrews followed by going deep himself. And the Rangers had a 3-0 lead. Seattle got 1 in the 8th off of Ogando, and 3 in the top of the 9th off Nathan. The Rangers try to fight back, and even Kinsler looking back at Kerwin Danley rather quizzically. He thought that was inside. A leadoff double in the 5th. He was at third with 1 out, but Hamilton and Beltre both flied out, neither deep enough to bring him home. And 0-2 count. Can't hold up on that one at 94 miles an hour.
That's good movement on that pitch. Watch the ball tail down and in. I don't know if it's a strike or not. But it's a nasty pitch for a pitcher to throw. Tough pitch for a hitter. Ian certainly didn't think it was a strike.
He's not feeling good about either of these first 2 pitches. Oh, 2 pitch gets away from Montero, and Snyder gets into scoring position.
One of the dangers of a splitter is let you bounce it. Trying to go for a strikeout. No balls at 2 strikes. Tried to bury it and just bounced it too far out in front of the plate. Nothing Montero could do with this one.
So Brandon Snyder finally getting into a game. Ranger debut. Here he is, tying run in scoring position. 1 out. See what happened to Montero.
He tried to block it, and I think it got his bare hand. Try to make that same pitch. Hard sinker down and in, but that one definitely was inside. Movement on that pitch. Pretty tough pitches, those first 2. They hadn't been strikes until the 9th inning.
Rangers' only hit tonight with the man in scoring position was in the 1st inning. Young singling in Hamilton. That was the only run in the game until those 7th inning homers. Ignited, as it turned out, a 6-run combined outburst. 7th, 8th, and 9th. 4 of those put up by the Mariners. And Kinsler strikes out number 2. The bottom just fell out of that one.
Yep, the movement got him. Yeah, you're getting a hole on those 2 first pitches, those 2 sinkers down and in. Looked like they might have been a little bit off the plate. And against a guy like League, an 0-2 deficit, pretty tough to make up.
So here's the last hope for the Rangers, Elvis Andrus. 2 ground outs, sacrifice bunt, and his first homer since last September in Seattle in the 7th. On a 3-1 pitch, back to back off Steve Delabar in the 7th. And the way the Ranger bullpen has thrown in the early going this year, 3-0 looked ultra solid. Line drive right to Justin Smoak, and the Mariners take a come from behind 4-3 victory. Well, this hit it hard happened to be right at Smoke. And a 3-run ninth inning rally off Joe Nathan gives Seattle the victory. And the Rangers fall for just the second time in their first 6 games.
That was a hard hit ball. You could see Smoke playing off the line, and that ball was hit right to him. One way or the other, you've got a tie game, but unfortunately that line drive went right at him. Big ninth inning for the Mariners. They earned it.
4-3 our final. Rangers Live is coming up.